But please welcome second class group. Okay. I think most of you know them, so Alexis, Sarah, them and
good evening, everyone. So today we're going to be talking to you about how to cross the threshold into getting the most out of your UVA experience. And the key to going through this threshold is curiosity. So, our generation has been increasingly curious about this world through the advancement of technology and social media. And this can be seen through our interest and viewing of reality TV shows such as Jersey Shore, and then our daily activity of going on Facebook to stalk your friends, to look at your friend's profile, and like to see like the next person you're interested in, are they in a relationship or not. The thing is, like, it is our human nature to hide behind this facade of, oh, I really don't care about this, but deep down you actually do. But this also relates back to your classes also. So, in class, many people at UVA would say that they take this class because it's an easy A. Oh, everyone says like, oh, just take this class, just go to class and you'll get A no matter what. You don't have to do work, you don't have to do anything. But the thing is, without the curiosity to participate in this class and to actually engage yourself in this class, an easy A class can be one of the hardest classes you take at UVA. Personally, I have gone through this experience. I've taken possibly, people say social psych, an easy A class that, oh, you just have to read the book, go to class, do the clickers, but it was one of the hardest classes I ever took here. I mean, it was interesting, but I just couldn't get myself to be curious about this class. So the key to classes at UVA is curiosity. And more, why is it important?
So why is curiosity important? I know that curiosity, when we were talking about this, the first thing that popped up was curious storage. And sometimes curiosity can lead to some trouble or mischief. But curiosity can also foster a new sense of understanding about ourselves and the world around us. So the first thing why curiosity is important is it sparks a wave of excitement. Now, how many times have you really wanted to know about something and you do a simple thing such as like Google it and you're like, wow, this is actually pretty interesting. What curiosity does is it keeps things exciting and there's never a dull moment. It helps you go beyond the things that we already know and find out and discover new things. Curiosity also helps us have an active mind. We're always questioning things. We're always trying to search for new answers. And this in itself is useful for humanity in general. Second thing why curiosity is important is it unleashes the inner child in us. Now, a lot of children, when they do absorb information, they do it without expectations or any judgment. This quality is something that children show prominently, however, adults acquire it too. It's an inherent quality that everyone acquires, however, we're sometimes ashamed to admit to it. By having this curiosity that has no judgment or expectations, we're able to learn new things and absorb the information around us with more passion and more motivation. And lastly, curiosity also helps us build strong relationships. I remember going in first year, I didn't know anyone in my hall, and what really made that bond with my roommate and the other girls in my hall was asking that initial question. Where are you from? You know, what's your favorite color? Well, that's kind of lame, no one asked that question. But these types of questions are the ones that really help form strong relationships and help us become curious individuals that are inquirers and are more, that are more knowing and more curious about the world around us.
By now, you guys must be wondering if being curious makes you an inquirer, or the ability to seek out information, does that make you an inquirer? The answer is that it's a little bit of both. You have to be curious about something, and you have to be confident. You have to have the confidence to drive and the motivation to go out and seek the information that you're initially curious about. But we also have to take it a step further than that. We have to use this newly acquired information of ours to further our self-development. With this self-development, it provides us with the knowledge and the mindset to be successful in pursuing our passions as well as achieving our life goals, which would ultimately make us happier people, which I'm sure is what we all strive towards. Now, take myself for example. I've been single for the longest time. And I've always been curious as to what the common factor was amongst all my friends who were in relationships was. And it turned out to be a very simple thing, where the guys would generally use a musical instrument. Now, as such, I taught myself how to play the ukulele to ensure that I wouldn't die old and alone. I went on the internet to look for more information, as well as recruited the help of my friends to teach me to unlock the mysteries of this magical toy of an instrument called the ukulele, all on my own accord. Now, unfortunately, I am still on track to be the only one present at my own funeral. But despite that fact, I've been able, this curiosity of mine has enabled me to use this newfound skill of mine to perform for an organization, which brought me much personal satisfaction when I was able to put a smile on the face of everyone in the audience.
Alright, so we learned about why curiosity is important and what is curiosity. So now we're going to talk about how to act on your curiosity here at UVA. So, the first step is to know what you're looking for. So, just having curiosity isn't enough. You need to know how to channel that into a passion and have a goal in mind. And so, as Oprah Winfrey said, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. So, the point of having a goal in mind is to know what drives you, to have that motivation from a genuine passion. And so, two things about your passion is that it has to be yours, it has to be genuine. It can't be your it can't be your parents, it can't be what you think society wants you to do. It also has to be attainable. So you have to have a goal that's actually possible based on what you want and what your passion is. So for example, your passion might be to travel and have a travel blog, but then your goal in life is to settle down in Southern California. You can't have both. So in order to have an attainable goal, you need to either compromise the two or change your goal to fit with your passion. The second step would be to explore. So here at UVA, we have a lot of academic choices, and the only way to figure out what you're passionate about academically is to first talk to others that you're inspired by, and to second, use resources online and through books. So upon exploring here at UVA, you can find various different classes of a whole bunch of ranges that can fit you. So for example, if you're interested in video games, you can take a CS class, computer science. Or if you're interested in Native American culture, you can take an anthropology class. Or you can take a course on Greek mythology, or you can even combine two passions like I did for cognitive science and education and take a course called cognitive psychology of education. Or lastly, you can take a class called Learn to Groove and learn how to be like Big Web. Our third step is to find your passion. So after you explore, you can know how to narrow down your choices so you can find that one genuine, attainable passion. Because there's no point in being curious about a whole bunch of things you need to learn how to limit and to invest. And so, so this picture might look familiar to most of us who are trying to figure out what to declare a major in. And so you can see that upon exploring, it might be confusing on what path to choose. But hopefully, once you do choose your passion, you can have the arrows turning the other way around so you can be able to funnel your choices down to your one passion, or several passions. And then our last step would be to invest in your passion. So we talked a lot about exploring and knowing and trying out different things. So that's quantity. But once you're able to figure out what you're interested in, you can be able to invest in your passion and turn that into quality. So quality over quantity.
So Stacy just mentioned a lot of stuff about what kind of things we're looking for when we're looking for what makes us curious, what interests us. But how can you really put that into action? What can you do like tonight or tomorrow, this semester, to kind of drive your passion to fuel your curiosity? A lot of the times what may happen is you may have to encounter a lot of barriers. For example, if you haven't seen this, you'll probably see it at some point here at UVA. It would be in a packed lecture hall. You might have a question for the motivation, what you want to do with this time is to really look at classes that interest you. Take classes that aren't in your major, take like creative writing or something like that, and just whatever interests you. But if you're a little bit unsure and you really want to stick with your major, find classes that are related to your major but also kind of branch out into a new way. For example, I took luminescence for fun with Brown College and I'm a biomedical engineer, so this has a lot of applications in like biological research and things like that. And then finally, at the very least, if you guys are doing that now, I assume, but watch TED Talks. It's an easy thing to do. It only takes a little bit amount of your time. You can see everything from social entrepreneurship to medical device design, anything, basically anything under the sun, you can find it on TED Talks. It's a great way to see what kind of things make you curious, and if you can find your curiosity through these things, you can talk with other people, you can meet professors, take classes that are related to your interests, and ultimately drive a major that drives a career. And